Dan Illman, Mike Beer, race number 11 at Gulfstream on Saturday. A nice stakes race for 3-year-old filly sprinters. Let's take a look at the field for the $75,000 Any Limit Stakes going 3/4 of a mile. It is the return to the races of the number 5, Frank's Rocket, 3 times graded stakes placed as a 2-year-old, grade 1 placed in the Frisette. From a speed figure standpoint, from a class standpoint, in many ways she lays over this field.
It's a good spot for them to bring her back in. I think ultimately Bill Mott will probably try to stretch her out again, but this is a good spot to bring her back.
Tale of Success is the number 1 in here, and Tale of Success showed speed last time. I'm curious to see if Timeform US believes that that speed will translate here, and they have her in 4th position early. She has won from off the pace in the past. Timeform US actually does have Frank's Rocket in front. I'd be surprised if Frank's Rocket actually does make the lead. I do think Sound Machine, the 2, has to be hustled under Tyler Gaffalione, and I think that 8 horse is also going to be really asked for speed.
Yeah, I agree with that. I mean, Frank's Rocket is certainly a fast horse. She has plenty of early speed, but they have never ridden her in a manner that suggests that she's going to be on the lead in this race.
I think whether she's sitting on a lead like this or sitting 3rd, a great trip is coming for Frank's Rocket. As for Tale of Success, she's won 2 of 3 starts. The only problem is the one loss came to Sound Machine. She got beat 9 lengths that day in the Glitter Woman. At least she bounced back from that race with a winning performance here against Florida-bred optional claimers. She's on the lead. She has been on the lead from the get-go, and she scores in solid enough fashion with a 71 buyer.
Yeah, she did. I mean, she ran fine in this race. They put her on the front here. She's going to start to edge away from this field late. The good news for her is she showed in her debut that she doesn't need to be on the lead to win, so if she gets outrun to the front in this spot, perhaps she can sit the right kind of trip in behind.
Sound Machine, the number 2, is the beaten favorite in the House Party Stakes 2 starts back. She bounced out from that effort with a win in the Glitter Woman. Then she popped a career best buyer speed figure of 78. She broke out a bit in this spot from the far outside post, ended up tracking 2 wide. She's already taken over the lead, turning into the stretch. She pours it on under a heavy drive to win by 6.5. From a buyer speed figure standpoint, good news. I wonder if 6 is a little bit sharp for her, though, from a pace standpoint, and maybe she's not fast enough to make the lead.
I mean, we'll see what happens. I expect her to get forward in this race. She was all out here, but she got away from this field in the final furlong of the race. A new top figure for her, for a red-hot trainer. There's plenty to like here.
Pat Biancone has done wonders with horses switching surfaces, especially with his 3-year-olds this year. He's going to try to do it with the filly Yesterday Once More. 2nd start of the year for Yesterday Once More. Tried a 2-turn race against the boys in the grade 3 Kitten's Joy last time out. Really didn't do too much running, but was a stakes winner on the grass at Del Mar as a 2-year-old filly. I just don't see the dirt in this pedigree.
I don't either, and I don't really see the form either. I know that she's a stakes winner on turf, but it's not like she's run, some super compelling races like she's gotten over here. I know that Biancone has had success with horses like this in the past, but I guess he's just going to have to beat me again.
La Vie is stakes placed, but that stakes placing came in the House Party when she was behind Sound Machine. Then Sound Machine beat her again in the Glitter Woman last time out against optional claiming horses, and those were pretty good optional claiming horses. She just didn't do any running. She needs a buyer boost. I assume there was no time taken for the last race.
I like her cutting back in this spot. We'll see if the pace heats up enough for her that she can make the kind of run that she's going to need to make to beat this field.
Big name in the race is, of course, Frank's Rocket. We were super impressed with her career debut at Churchill Downs for Bill Mott, so we know that she can run well fresh. She had trouble in the Adirondack, and then she ran into some pretty decent fillies. Perfect Alibi in the spin away, and last time out on the Frisette against Wicked Whisper, she's in the red, she's on the outside. It was her first time going a 1-turn mile, and she ran fine. Career best buyer speed figure of 82. Mott's been working her fast over the deep pace and course.
She did run fine in this race. They just rated her again. That seems like how they want to ride her. They rated her early in this race, sat 3 wide, and just never really made a run at it till they came to the stretch. And once she tried to come after a Wicked Whisper on the lead, that horse had plenty left. She was just loose on the lead. I thought Frank's Rocket actually ran really well to be second here.
She was easily second best, and the 3rd and 4th place finishers both won their next outings. Still Alive is next, and I just thought Still Alive was ridden all wrong last time out in the Gin Talking Stakes. I don't necessarily consider her a speed horse, and they hustled her out of there, and she got caught up in a duel, and she paid the price. And she was not facing the cream of the crop, let's say. Ankle Monitor came back to win a starter optional with a 70 70 Buyer speed figure. I think we'll see stalking tactics. I think it's nice to see Paco Lopez aboard, a filly that is stakes placed.
Yeah, I guess at least she's shown that she can sit off of it and make a run. Maybe she did get the wrong ride last time. I just don't know that she has a race that necessarily makes her all that competitive in here. She did break her maiden with a solid figure. That was wire to wire.
Fujairah's lone win on turf. She is stakes placed on turf, but she wasn't embarrassed last time out in the grade 3 forward gal. She was simply overmatched against Tonalist's Shape. Yes. Is right now one of the better 3-year-old fillies in the country, and we'll see her at Gulfstream on the road to the Kentucky Oaks. The 5th finisher from that race, a horse the Fujairah finished ahead of, did come back to win an off-the-turf allowance with a 63 Buyer. From a Buyer's standpoint, she has to improve, but I think a decent trip is coming switching to IRAD. She has enough tactical speed.
Yeah, she's just too slow at this point, but there are some things to like about her. Maybe it's a little bit of an easier spot than the last one. It's interesting that IRAD picks up the mount.
Belladonna completes this field. She was highly regarded as a 2-year-old filly in South Florida last year. She was well bet in all 3 of her starts. She finally got it done in her 3rd outing on August the 23rd at Gulfstream, where she was bet down to 3-5. She went right to the front, and she never let them into the race. She won easily. She beat a couple of next out winners, the runner-up returning to score against open maidens with a 68 Buyer. This is a long layoff and a tough spot, but a very clever trainer.
Yeah, a very good trainer. She just got loose in a short field here and did what she was supposed to do. She still hasn't run fast enough to beat this field.
Frank's Rocket looks like the horse to beat in the Any Limit. Let's take a look at our top selection for this race. We liked her last year, and she's probably going to work out a good trip for Bill Mott.
I mean, to me, it just feels like she's back in the right kind of spot here, even though she has a layoff to deal with. I respect Sound Machine. I liked her last race just fine. Frank's Rocket, to me, is just supposed to be a better horse.
She's supposed to be a better horse, and right now she's been more consistent. Sound Machine basically only has that one race. I'm curious to see if she can hustle out of there. Maybe Frank's Rocket is using this race as a prep for something else, but to be honest with you, in any kind of multi-race wager, I'm using a lot of Frank's Rocket. It'll be interesting to see how much Sound Machine gets bet. The Safi Joseph machine keeps rolling along at Gulfstream. 2518 for me, 5218 for Mike, $75,000 Any Limit at Gulfstream on Saturday as an approximate post of 5:04 Eastern. Good luck.